Imagine waking in the pre-dawn hush, centuries ago, on a cobbled street, colored not by modern neon, but by flickering oil lamps and the scent of roasting chestnuts. Somewhere in the distance, the roar of a crowd rises. Did someone stand trial in the forum? Is that a messenger bearing whispers of war? This world pulses with ambition, betrayal, triumph, and ruin. Welcome to the Roman Empire, not as a dusty name, but as a living, breathing force whose heartbeat once echoed through continents. You're not just hearing words. You're stepping onto the dusty roads of Gaul, the marble halls of the Palatine Hill, the smoky amphitheaters. You're eavesdropping on senators debating power, watching legions march through fog-laden mornings, and feeling the distant tremor of the empire's fall. Let's walk those roads together. Once, Rome was a modest city on the Tiber, ruled not by emperors, but by ordinary men in togas. Yet even as children played in the cradle of this city, an idea flickered. What if the world could be theirs? That spark kindled wars, alliances, and legends. The early republic saw humble farmers rise as consuls and senators shaped laws in the forum's dusty stones. They invented checks and balances long before modern textbooks, power shared between the Senate, the consuls, and the people. But like a trident's point, ambition soon sharpened. Leaders like Marius and Sulla wielded legions as political tools, blurring the line between citizen and soldier. In this cauldron, one man, Julius Caesar, stepped forward. And here's a twist you probably didn't expect. Caesar, the man who would conquer Gaul and cross the Rubicon, was once kidnapped by pirates. Consider this. He laughed, held captive, as his captors demanded a ransom. He promised to double it, scoffed when they laughed, and after release hunted them down and crucified them, all while staying eerily calm. A blend of humor and chilling power. That audacity carried him to supremacy. Gaul fell under his command. Pompey watched with both awe and fear, and the Senate trembled. The phrase "crossing the Rubicon" isn't just history. It's a declaration of war, of irreversible choice. Caesar did it in 49 BCE, and civil war ensued. His victory was swift, but the crown he wore was invisible. His reign marked not triumph, but the Republic's final gasp. In the Ides of March, betrayal ended his story. Blood staining the marble as Brutus's knives struck. Yet his death gave birth to an empire. Augustus emerged from the chaos, a phoenix in the smoke of civil war. He didn't don a crown. He called himself Princeps, the first citizen. And in so doing, he built a system that lasted centuries. Under his rule came Pax Romana, the Roman peace, where trade flourished and aqueducts carried life in crystal streams to thirsty cities. But even amid calm, undercurrents stirred. Imagine a young emperor refusing to name a successor, Nero for instance, pursuing music and art as Rome burned. Legend says he fiddled. The truth is murky, but the image is seared into imagination. Meanwhile, there was a senator who slipped secrecy plans into his breastplate, covering a dagger. A plot against the man who sang on the balcony above the burning city. Suspense, drama. And then came the serious stuff. The empire at its greatest, under Trajan, stretching from moody Britannia, across golden deserts of Arabia, to the rivers of Mesopotamia. His column still stands, wrapped in spiraling stone to tell his conquests. But empire is not only expansion, its administration, tax collectors, grain shipments, and roads. Roads. All roads leading to Rome, made from rock that still speaks today. Yet cracks appeared. In the mid-3rd century, the empire fractured under the weight of plague, economic collapse, and invasions. Goths, Persians, Huns. At times, rival emperors sprouted like weeds, each crowned in provinces, armies behind them. Imagine watching power play like a grand chess game, with legions as your rooks. Then, a man named Constantine seized the board. He saw a cross in a dream, painted it on shields, and marched under that banner. Christianity gained imperial favor. Rome's soul shifted. The capital moved to the east, Constantinople shining like a jewel, beginning the split between east and west. The west staggered and fell, 476 CE marking the end of one story. But don't let that feel like defeat. It was transformation. Roman law lived on. Missionaries and scholars carried scrolls to distant monasteries. The Byzantine Empire, a continuation in another form, kept that flame burning another 1,000 years. Consider this. Our months, March, July, August, preserve the names of Roman rulers. So each time you glance at your calendar, remember that the pulse of emperors still beats silently. In the end, the Roman Empire was never a monolith, but a mosaic. Moral tragedies, bold vision, administrative genius, myth, and myth-making. It shaped language, law, art, and even our imaginations. Rome didn't fall so much as metamorphose. Its stones scattered through history, yet underpinning our world. Now, lean forward, because there's more. The empire's echoes aren't buried under ruins. They walk beside you, in your speech, your laws, your roads, and even your very mindset. You've just touched the edge of that story. Thank you for traveling with me onward toward the next chapter we'll explore together.